Hello everyone, it's nice to see you again. This week, instead of a video, there's a PowerPoint which aims to illustrate what I say clearly and make it easier for you to follow. There are totally 6 slides in which I will give the answer for the question last week and explain it in details. Okay, are you ready? Let's start with the first slide. Can you look at the screen please? There are 4 sentences I gave you last week. He told us a story. He described us a picture. I gave some money to Jack and I gave Jack some money. The first question, identifying all the objects, including direct and indirect ones. As you can see, all the directs are underlined and colored, in which the red ones, like a story, a picture, and some money, are direct objects. The blue ones, like us and Jack, are indirect objects. The second question, are all the sentences grammatically correct? The answer is no. Number 2, he described us the picture is not correct in grammar. And the last question, is there any difference between two sayings? I gave some money to Jack and I gave Jack some money. The answer is yes. Now let's take a closer look at each point. The first one is object. You should understand what an object is. Look at the example. I made a cake. She met Tom at the cinema yesterday, and the boy is sleeping. So an object, it must be a noun. It follows a verb and it often refers to people or things, like a cake and Tom in these examples. But you should pay attention that not all the verbs required objects followed in the case of intransitive verb, like in the sentence, the boy is sleeping. The second point, direct objects and indirect objects. Commonly, there are some verbs that are followed by 2 objects, in which one is direct and another one is indirect object. So how can we distinguish these 2 kinds of objects? I have an example. She gave students some books and she gave students some ideas. In these 2 sentences, she is the subject, gave is the verb in the past form of give, students indirect object, and some books and some ideas direct object. So, direct objects are entities. They can be concrete noun like some books or abstract noun like some ideas, and they are directly affected by the action of the verb. And indirect objects like students were intended to be used to refer to humans. These humans will be generally in the role of recipients. Subject like she expresses where the transfer is from, the source, and indirect object expresses where the transfer is to, like the goal. If you rewrite this sentence into passive voice, the sentence will be some books or some ideas were given to students by her. Okay, the third point is objects occurring in prepositional phrase with to and for. It appears that distinguishing or identifying direct and indirect objects is not your problem, but many of you may confuse when you encounter objects that occur in prepositional phrase with to and for. For example, there is an active voice sentence, I bought him a newspaper, and you will rewrite this sentence into passive voice like a newspaper was bought to him or a newspaper was bought for him. The answer is number B. A newspaper was bought for him. Now look at the sentences below in the table. Maybe you're often confused between 2 sentences. I told to Sam the story and I told Sam the story. It cost me a lot of money and it cost me a lot of money. He described us the picture and he described the picture to us. All the sentences on the left side are incorrect, and the other ones in the right side are correct. So why? If you find it interesting, just think about it, read some books and share your idea with me, and I will give the answer later. Okay, and the last part is the meaning in context, and this one will answer the question: is there any difference between two sayings? I gave Jack some money and I gave some money to Jack. There's a student answer this sentence like this: there's no difference, just only the exchange between the position of direct and indirect object. But there is difference in the meaning. Okay, now I have two questions. Where is the money and why is Jack so happy? If two sentences above are the answers for these questions, so which one will go with which one? Okay, where is the money? So the answer is I gave it to Jack, or I gave some money to Jack. It here is a pronoun and it replaces some money. And for the question, where is Jack so happy? I gave him some money, or I gave Jack some money. That is the answer. You can see there's a phrase in the box, given before new. It means that in English sentences, the information that is already known or not new to speaker or writer will often be placed before the information which is new or unknown in that point. That also brings me to the end of my presentation today, and I'd like to end it with an old joke related to our topic of the lesson. Okay, that's all for this week, and I hope that for the questions in the following weeks, I will give more answers from you. Okay, goodbye for now.